All right, I'm Matt.
And I'm Jacquis. Welcome to the Nightly on Hatch Plus, where yawning is the ultimate compliment. What is up, Matt? How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. Lovely to see you again, spend the evening with you. I'm all fine this end. How are you?
I'm doing well. You know when you have a week where you are working a lot or you're talking a lot, and you also still have other things coming up, like within the week. And so, like, your mindset is stay well, take care of your voice, and blah, blah, blah. That's where I'm at right now. So today has been, like, a decidedly chill day for me. But as soon as I'm done, I can't wait to not care anymore. Is where I'm at.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's good that you've got that sort of inbuilt, I have to chill time, though, because I'm terrible for that.
Yeah. Are you?
I love being busy, and then I always put in the diary, like, oh, that day I am going to put my feet up and relax, and I can't wait. And then when that day comes, I always kind of go, oh, that seems boring. I'll go and do something else. And then I never end up properly resting then. So yeah, it's good. I'm glad you're chilling out, mate.
Yeah. What's the vacation like for you? Like my next vacation I want to take, I want it to be I'm just sitting, relaxing for like 5-6 days. Maybe do something here and there. But my last few vacations have been packed with things. Like, I got to see this, got to do this, walking like 20,000 plus steps a day, blah, 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 blah. And like, I want to have a relaxing, chill vacation for my next one. So what's the vacation like for you, or an ideal vacation like for you?
I think the key to a relaxing trip away is avoiding the city break style of holiday. Because I do think then you're constantly against it, going, oh God, there's so much that I need to see and do. Otherwise, this feels like a waste. But that was always what I kind of preferred doing until a couple of years ago, where my girlfriend booked an all-inclusive kind of beach resort kind of place in Turkey, where the nearest place was like 10 miles away and there was nothing there. So not having that pressure of having to see anything, I thought I'd find really boring. But actually, I was like, I could get used to this.
Yeah. All-inclusive, let me tell you, man, it is a costly thing. So I know not everyone has the financial capability to do so in the ways like going to a resort. But if you ever get the opportunity, or if you are like a saver for vacations, it is such a beautiful vacation, like an all-inclusive resort. Everything is there. You don't have to leave your property to have like your full breadth of enjoyment. That is the next vacation I want to take, actually, is an all-inclusive resort vacation.
Whereabouts are you thinking? What sort of what kind of area?
I've only done it in Mexico before, so the unimaginative part of me is saying, oh, I'll just go back to like a Mexico destination, which isn't unimaginative. That's still a beautiful vacation. But you just brought up Turkey. Like, maybe there's some other places that I can go to that have all-inclusive resorts. But on the flip side to that, if I was in Turkey, I would be like, I have to go see things versus if I go to Mexico.
Yeah.
I've been very lucky living in Los Angeles, and Mexico is a pretty common vacation for people in Southern California. I don't know where I want to go. It's a good question.
I'd be the same. If I was going to Mexico, I would definitely be the same. I think I couldn't do a resort holiday because I want to go and see stuff.
Oh yeah, because Turkey is much closer to you than Mexico.
Yeah.
So it's like the reverse for us. Yeah. It's like the absolute reverse for us. It's so funny how that is, like, just depending on where you are geographically. Like, for me, Mexico feels so accessible.
That's crazy.
Where I forget that for 80% of the world, coming to Mexico is like oh yeah, man, we can on a plane for 8-10 hours to get there. Like, that doesn't register to me.
Yeah, it's one of those like once in a lifetime style trips.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I love that. All right, Matt, So we're talking about vacations, and vacations are all about having fun. And you know what I would find fun to do right now would be actually building out a snooze pack. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to work together, and we're going to assemble our ideal collection of 6 things with a theme. Very simple, just like a 6-pack, right? So tonight, being that I'm a comedian, being that you're a funny guy, I'm thinking we can make our snooze pack our favorite movie comedies. How's that sound, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely love a comedy film. I'm all over this.
Let's do it.
So, first movie in the snooze pack for me, I think has got to be a film that was huge for me growing up. And me and my mates watched it over and over and over again, to the point where it's so ingrained in our psyche now that we still say things from the movie like 20 years on. And that film is Superbad.
Superbad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Superbad was big.
It was huge. Even over here, it was. Yeah, I remember that. I assume it must have been the summer that it came out, or near then. It was everybody was watching it, and it seemed to be one of those films that everybody had on DVD. Like whenever you went round anyone's house, everybody had Superbad on DVD, and it still really makes me laugh now.
What year did Superbad come out?
My guess would be 2005.
I just looked in the encyclopedia, 2007.
Wow. Okay.
So, like, Superbad is an interesting movie for me because, like, I've seen it a couple times, but I was 21 then when Superbad came out. So, Superbad is a high school movie, and not in, like, content. It's a very raunchy rated R movie, but they are in high school, and it is about high school students and things like that. So while I did love it and enjoyed it, I wasn't around a bunch of friends where we were like watching it together and like quoting it at school. And so it felt just a couple years of like, this is fun, but like this does feel like a high school movie. And so my relatability to it was like just a little bit less. So I missed out on that like fan base following of Superbad, like a lot of people have. Because I'm assuming you were probably in high school when it came out.
I assume we were probably about the age that they were supposed to be in the film. Maybe like 17, 18, just starting to, go into house parties and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So it was so... And I think with a lot of films like that stick with you and resonate, a lot of it is more about the nostalgia that's tied up in it, and it kind of transports you back to that place, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I think with so many albums that, I've played songs to people that they kind of just don't go, that's not, I don't really get that. And to me, it's like the greatest thing in the world because it reminds me of that one summer. So, yeah, I get that. Unless you were kind of in that at the time, it maybe doesn't resonate the same way.
I love that. Superbad is a good one. And it launched the careers of a lot of people who are A-list actors now. So definitely big for that as well. All right. Love that. Superbad. First one in the pack. I'm going to throw one out to you as well. That came out when I was too young to watch it. But as I got older, and it was a very big movie in the culture, and it became one of my favorites and still up there today, Coming to America. Coming to America with Eddie Murphy, James Earl Jones, which, if I'm not mistaken, came out in 1987.
Wow, okay.
I just looked it up. 1988 is when it came out. Coming to America is one of the greatest comedies of all time to me. It is one of the first comedies where we got to see comedic actors playing multiple characters to great success, and not just one other character, but like Eddie Murphy played like 5 characters in that movie. Arsenio Hall played so many characters in that movie. It is so quotable. It is so funny, and it still just hits. And like everything about it, like an African prince comes to America to find his queen, and instead of having his arranged marriage. And so they look on the globe, it's like, where should we go? And like they find a place called Queens. So they go to Queens, New York to look for his queen. And they're like so rich, and like, I mean, he's Eddie Murphy's royalty, but he wants to pretend like he's poor because he doesn't want whoever he finds to love him for his title and his money, and just everything about it, man. Like, Coming to America is just top notch, hilarious, and it was Eddie Murphy at his peak.
He's definitely on the sort of Mount Rushmore of the greatest to ever do it, especially in that.
Oh yeah,
I don't know whether he pioneered it, but it certainly seemed like it, with like playing multiple characters.
He is definitely the most popular, and Coming to America was that first movie that did that. And then he went on to do like The Nutty Professor almost 10 years later.
Yeah, and all the spin-offs.
Yeah, and then also if you like go watch Coming to America now, you will hear different versions of different characters he's played throughout life. Like, you hear very early remnants of Donkey from Shrek, or you hear very early remnants of Buddy Love, or Professor Clump, or just like other things. And also Arsenio Hall, so underrated in that movie. James Earl Jones, hilarious. Samuel L. Jackson's first movie.
Was it really?
If it's not his first, it's his first like one or two. But it's like the first one that people who know Sam Jackson recognize that as his first movie.
Right, okay. Wow. What a big cast as well. Yeah.
It's great.
I don't think I've seen it, but that's definitely on the list.
You gotta watch it
In the snooze pack. Yeah.
You gotta watch it. It's up there. And it's from the 80s, so parts of it may feel dated, but I just rewatched it and it still holds up. It's one of those rare comedies that actually still holds up through the test of time, in my opinion.
I do think the 80s, they were really pushing out some great comedy films. And my next pick for the snooze pack is actually from same era. We're looking at, I think it was 1980, where it was a real boom for great comedy films. And my next pick is Airplane.
Oh, Airplane. I haven't seen that in a while.
I don't think there's anything that makes me laugh as much as Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, he's great.
For anyone who hasn't seen Airplane, it's like a sort of spoof comedy about a neurotic ex-fighter pilot who has got to overcome his fear of flying to land a commercial plane when the pilot is incapacitated. But there's so many, I mean, you'd call them dad jokes now, wouldn't you? And maybe even then, but so many just like one-liners. There's hundreds of them. And again, such a quotable film.
Is that the Don't Call Me Shirley? Is that where that quote comes from?
Don't Call Me Shirley. Yeah. Which again is something that, you know, daily, if I talk to my mum, it'll be, surely you're going there. Don't call me Shirley. Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. Leslie Nielsen is icon. For sure, and especially those movies from like the 70s and 80s and even the 90s to a degree, where like comedies were just joke heavy, just like joke after joke after joke and punchline after punchline. And they just remade Naked Gun with Liam Neeson, and it is a real throwback to that era of comedy where it's just joke after joke after punchline after punchline. And like Airplane, I haven't seen it in a very long time, so I would love to watch it again, but like Airplane is definitely one of the best examples of that era of comedy.
Yeah, I'm all for that resurgence. God, I've really missed those real punchline heavy, just shameless joke after joke. So yeah, that's in the pack.
Well, speaking of shameless joke after joke, and speaking of quotable, where you and your high school friends had Superbad, me and my high school friends had Anchorman. Anchorman is, without a doubt, the biggest movie to come out comedy-wise in my high school era. It is so funny. It is so quotable. It is so stupid. It is just joke after joke after joke, and just bit after bit after bit. And man, it was also one of those movies, kind of like The Big Lebowski, where it gets better every time you watch it, to me.
Yes.
And because, like, I remember not really liking it or not enjoying it as much the first time I saw it. Or it took me a minute as I'm watching it to warm up in it. But then, like, that second time you watch it, and that third time you watch it, and that fourth time you watch it, and the jokes just, like, start hitting and landing, and the quotes start coming. And, you know, before we had memes, we had Anchorman quotes. Like, that was how we all related in high school and early college.
That's so true. That's so true. That was memes, wasn't it? That was meme culture.
Yeah.
But rather than the visual ones, it was just saying, brick hit a guy with a trident, or whatever.
Yeah. Or that escalated quickly, or you gonna find my rock is gonna hold up, like just everything.
A friend of mine actually bought, was it called Sex Panther? The aftershave.
Mm-hmm. Sex Panther.
Because 60% of the time, it works every time.
Every time. It's so funny. Santiago. Discovered by the Germans, which of course translated from a whale's vagina. That can't be true. Like, just so funny. It's just the dumbest movie of all time.
It really is.
And I love it so much.
But I think you're right. I think you got to watch it multiple times because it's so consistently funny that it takes a few watches to actually fully appreciate all of it.
It does.
That's one of my ones as well. In fact, it was genuinely one of my ones on the Snooze pack.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't know whether we put it in twice or whether we go for Anchorman 2 in there as well, because that was also good.
Anchorman 2 is good.
Still really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It definitely wasn't as strong as the first one for me, but when I watch it, and I watched it again recently, like within the past year or two, it is definitely a pretty spot-on satire of the 24-hour news cycle that we have right now, which, like, when it came out, I didn't connect to that as readily as I do now, you know, especially over the past few years. So, like, still very funny. But, yeah, Anchorman in general, fantastic.
Yeah. If Anchorman is gone, we'll take that as one.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking of Will Ferrell, given the time of year and how much I like Will Ferrell, I think I'm going to put Elf in.
Oh,
as the next,
yes. I love that. A Christmas comedy, too?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. Elf is like one of the last Christmas movies that I can remember that has like become a part of the zeitgeist, as far as like we watch this every year, Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's a real tradition watching Elf.
Yeah.
Has there been a good Christmas movie recently?
There's been like good ones, but nothing that has stuck like Elf did.
So there you go. That's in.
Elf is great. Will Ferrell is great.
He is. He's definitely. If we're building the Rushmore of movie comedies, then he's up there with Eddie Murphy. I think he's on there as well.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because my third and final Snooze Pack edition is also kind of a cheat, because I just couldn't pick one, and so I have to go with the Jim Carrey 90s collection, who is also up there as far as just like, if you think of comedy, you cannot go too far, or I wouldn't trust your opinion if you went too far without putting Jim Carrey like on that list, I should say. And for me, like, the reason I couldn't just pick one is because like I have like 4 or 5, and it's Ace Ventura, The Mask, Liar Liar,
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce, like, just so many hits after hits after hits that really shaped my comedic and movie watching experience as a kid. Like, Jim Carrey is the first actor that I remember saying, I want to go see the Jim Carrey movie. And so I'm throwing that in there as my final Snooze Pack pick.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think that's a great choice. But
yeah,
I suppose in the spirit of the game, if you can't pick a favourite, which I understand why you couldn't, because that's tough.
Yeah.
Which do you think you've watched the most times?
It would be Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Yeah, that's a really good pick. And weirdly, I struggled with my last pick, but Jim Carrey, he was involved. It was going to be Bruce Almighty.
Heck yes, so funny.
Then I did think of there's an English film over here that's even niche over here, to be honest, which is called Mike Bassett, England Manager, which is about this guy who's basically, he gets the job as the England football manager and goes to the World Cup. But it's a disaster, and it's very niche, but it's really funny if you're a football fan.
Okay, I've never seen that.
But then I thought, in terms of accessibility and a film that sort of means something to me, I think I'd put in Yes Man.
An underrated Jim Carrey movie, for sure.
I think it is. But the weird thing is, it's one of those films where I can picture exactly where I was when I first watched it. And it was when I started going to college with a mate of mine. And we used to we'd rarely go in. So we were sort of doing our own thing and trying to build our own company and being enterprising and slacking off. But we watched a load of comedy films, and that Yes Man was one of those. And I remember he tried to live by it for a bit, because obviously the philosophy of the film is Jim Carrey isn't allowed to say no to anything. And quickly found out that it's a very, very impractical way to live.
Yeah, very.
But I remember us having a lot of fun watching it.
And good cast too. Zooey Deschanel, Bradley Cooper. And Yes Man feels like Jim Carrey, like in his mature comedy phase, where he's still doing like some of the Jim Carrey things, but he's like, just slightly a little more tired, and which I can relate to very much so. So yeah, I do love Yes Man.
And speaking of which, I'm also getting a bit tired, Jacquis, so I think it's about time to turn in. Now we've got our snooze pack sorted.
I do think so as well. I'm gonna think about these movies, laugh a little bit as I drift off into dreamland. So Matt, I'll talk to you next time. Good night, buddy.
Been a pleasure, mate. Good night, Jacquis.